Yeah, no, I was doing photo. Yeah, I was doing photo for a few years in Paris before doing things with music and making music videos and then making like those live little films. When I moved to moving images, as we were talking about, the language of cinema, that I loved some of it. That was a quest to continue that. And then there was the screen of TV, which was something I really hated and I wanted to fight against. And then I was suddenly a new screen, internet. And when I say new screen, in a way, it's like, yeah, like 6 years ago, it was like a new screen for moving images because of the speed of the internet. It was getting possible now to watch movies on internet, basically. And that's how I really started the takeaway show, this project with the Blogothèque. I really wanted to propose a language which would fit that screen.
Everyone says we're all fools to believe in that. Everyone says we're all fools to believe in that.
I was doing the Blogothèque project, takeaway shows in Paris for at least 3 years. And then I decided to move from Paris because I was already traveling a lot with a few bands which were inviting me on tour with them. And I moved to New York to live with a girlfriend at the time. But she broke up with me the day I arrived there. It was 2 years ago, and I had no home, so I stayed on the road. I didn't tell my parents that I didn't get any house, that I was just like squatting here or there. And then I was just like, yeah, I mean, then it was it, So I was able to live on the road, and then I started to consider how could I make this work, and living as a nomad with very little money, and I don't know, it's an experiment. I'm trying. I came first to give a workshop over 2 weeks in Sao Paulo in a cinema school, and I was sort of teaching there. It was really great. I don't know if the students had such an amazing time, but I learned a lot. I'm chaotic, I don't respect cinema school. Are you kidding me? It's like, really? Dude, it's useless. And that's what I told the students as soon as I arrived. Like, really, you're not in a good place if you want to make films, I think. But let's try to do something interesting. And so that was like experimenting with them, doing fun stuff. My point was really definitely to show them how much you can drink and not go in school. You learn much more there, outside. It was pretty funny. No, it was really, and that's how I learned myself. Right. I was in a cinema university when I was 19, 20, and I didn't get anything there. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about, really? But then at the same time, I started like a sort of like photo atelier in Paris. It's like one night a week, and it was just chaos. It was very fresh. They wouldn't teach us like for hours how to use the right speed at the right moment. We just like sort of like talk about images, and after an hour or two, they would be like, okay, so now you go in the street and you meet us in 2 hours in this bar around the corner. And this is really where I learned the most, and it was amazing. It was the best lesson, my favorite cinema is the one which questions not the fact of what informations does he want to give to the viewer, but it's much more cinema which questions the idea of like which information he doesn't want to give to the viewer. Kiarostami used to say about his films that I make only half film, the other half is made by the viewer. Has been it's a very, very important thing, which I think is a language of cinema which respects a lot the viewer, where basically it gives him a lot of room. And I think it's a very beautiful relationship to have with any kind of spectator, not only in the field of cinema. So from this, I was just like curious to trying to basically think in general about how people receive, So how you transmit, which are really trying to explore a very specific cinema language, which is a language that you hopefully cannot explain with words, The only way to reply to it would be with the same medium. The last project I guess I did with money involved, where a band or a label behind would give me money. It was probably a year and a half ago when I did a film with Mogwai. Since then I've been able to get some money, not on the films themselves. And I really like the idea of like just keeping the films free. I just want to do what I want, So nobody has to tell me what to do. So I try to just to get money when I do conferences and screenings, and it's kind of like the same thing of like a musician not making any money on his album, but touring the world and making money when he makes concerts almost. You know? My movie is under Creative Commons, so basically if someone wants to screen it to a cinema on the other side of the planet, I don't care. I mean, no, I care, I think it's great, but you just do it, you know? You have the right to do it. As soon as you don't make money on it, just like, please do it. Myself, I don't like personally to screen in cinemas, on big screens. It's not my way of watching films. What I really enjoy is kind of like the multiplicity of experiences that I can have. That multiplicity of experiences when I go see live music. Basically, it depends on how cheap is the alcohol in the venue, if I can smoke or not inside, how many people are going to be there, you know, if it's going to be extremely crowded or not, hot or not, you know. Those elements are not elements that you can find in a cinema venue. In cinema venue, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, you're seated, you can see the film because nobody's going to be there in front of you. You cannot really drink or smoke. You stay quiet, you don't really talk to your friend, talk about what happened to you last night in the middle of the film, you don't do that. What I'm trying to do when I show my films, myself, I think it's just my favorite way, is just like going at someone's place, you know, for a party and blah, blah. At some point, I got my computer in my bag, I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna show you something. We just put this on the fucking table, I just open it, I play it, and people are like watching or not, talking or not. Just like it's an element amongst others, you know? There is not a respect to it. And I love this. I don't want people to respect it. Before coming to Brazil, 2 months before, I emailed the only contacts I had in Brazil, maybe 5 persons, asking them to give me links to some bands and contacts of people in music. So from those first lists, I had like other contacts that I emailed, bam, 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 lots of time. Okay, asking. In the end, I have this huge list, insane long list of people, and then I resend that list to all those people, asking them opinions.
Okay.
And so I sort of like cut my information, you know, it's like a journalist like searching for something. Then like some names come back, you know, sometimes, and you're like, okay, I guess, you know, that's something. Oh, you hear good things about that person from this guy and that guy. Just like, you know, just that's how I sort of like, choose. But then when I'm on the spot, when I arrive in Brazil, I try to go to every live shows possible and try to listen to many things, you know, but especially like see people live. And so I search for like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't shoot anything. I just like walk around, you know, go out. And then I kind of like develop ideas and fun ideas. I really develop like really funny projects based on like, almost surrealist sometimes. An example. I am staying at Talma Di Fleita's place. I arrive in Rio, and then I learned that Talma's father, Laercio, is going to be in town, and that he's an amazing composer and arranger. And I see Talma going out in Rio, and I get an idea of the character, and then I see her father, which is very different, who is like incredible man, spending all of his time writing arrangements slowly every day long at home, you know. And I wanted to give them a movie. She offered me a place to stay for a month, you know, so that's how I live. I just like give you a movie then, you know. And then I'm like, can I make a film with Talma and Laercio? And I'm thinking about an interesting idea. And then I'm like, okay, great, I know. I'm gonna go first with Talma all around Rio and asking her to make sounds, and to record sounds, but just like a cappella. And then I'm gonna show this movie to Laercio, and he's gonna play music and compose music on this. So I made this first like 15-minute film with Talma, and I just like put it on my laptop, I put it on the top of the fucking piano, and asked Laercio to watch it, to listen to it, and to improvise piano over it. And it's just this incredible double layer film, which is very beautiful, where the music is composed at 2 different moments. And it's very beautiful having this old man looking at his daughter, walking around Rio, and him just like adding little notes of piano over this. It's very, very beautiful. It's very deep. It's like, and it's very interesting, like, hopefully creative process, you know? Trying to question creative process. How can we create playing games, you know?
Matar o curisco foi dor de coração. Ele morreu na campanha com seu parabelo na mão.
I met him like a week before talking about ideas, because I knew he was waking up very early in the morning, and I love this idea of like going on top of city and sort of like singing for it, you know, calling for prayer but waking the souls. And I sort of like mentioned that to Tom Zay. And then I came one early morning, we went on a rooftop, and and he was with the guitar. I was like, no, without the guitar, just like, I don't know, just a cappella, let's see. That's it. And he just goes for like 30 minutes in his performance, poetry, improvised, tai chi, which is just the most amazing thing I've seen. It's amazing. It's just like, wow. And it says so much about him, I think. So much, because it's like so long. And I'm just trying to dance around him. And I learned so much. Just watching him was a big lesson for me and my relationship with my body. Now I'm trying to slow down and trying to really spend much time. I'm spending more than 3 months in Brazil. It's the first time I spent so much time in a country, and it's amazing. I think it's a golden age for Brazilian culture. Yeah, definitely. It's something I really felt, especially in Sao Paulo, less in Rio. I think Rio is way more a conservative city, and there is less things.
More conservative than São Paulo?
Yeah, of course. It's an old, beautiful city. It's a touristic place, And as any touristic places are conservative places. Because they keep a patrimony. Sao Paulo doesn't. There's no tourists in Sao Paulo. There's nothing to see. So there are always things to destroy and to build, which is great. It's like I'm interested in like destruction nowadays, and how people can destroy. What can we destroy? It's a very sensitive question. But it's very, very exciting. And anyway, I think it's a wonderful time for Brazil. Now, and I mean now, not in 5 years. Now, I think it's a wonderful time. Canon 5D, I think you're the camera tool of globalization. I'm very sorry, but I don't like you. That's a good one. Fuck you, globalization.